Today we are going to start turning this thing into a piece of paradise. We've got a 11 by 16 pond going in, a little bit of stream and waterfall. It's going to go under the walkway. The walkway is all torn out. There's going to be some hardscaping spaces going in. We're going to do about a 12-ish foot stream. There's going to be a biofalls up at the top near the front door. It's going to kind of aim a little more towards the house so she can see and enjoy this thing from inside. And it's just going to be a really cool feature. We are setting our biofalls first, along with laying out our plumbing now that we have the area all demoed out and everything to kind of wipe down to a clean slate where we need to. The reason we want to go ahead and set our biofalls first and get the plumbing hooked up is as we start our excavation now, we can just go ahead and throw our backfill right on to the area we're going to be berming up for our biofalls, and we can cover up our plumbing line to where we're not having issues with having to do that later. The reason we have the biofalls articulated this way is because we have windows right here, front door right here, and then a seating area going in over there. So I want to be able to face the waterfall back into the viewing area a little bit more, and then we'll just build some outcropping rocks up behind the back of here, and it can be landscaped to help blend all that in. All right, so we are working on the excavation at this point of the pond, and we're going 2 feet deep, but because of the grade of the hillside that we're on here, we are raising this side of the pond up to create the water line that we desire so that we don't have to dig so deep down into the pond there. So this is what I was kind of talking about with the skimmer here. It is sitting a little bit above our existing grade of the lawn, and we are building up the whole backside of this pond here. So there will be some bigger boulders to help retain all this soil and to keep the backside of the pond in place. All right, well, I am getting ready to head out here. The guys are finishing up with a few things. They've got a little ways to go and some cleaning up to do. We'll get the underlayment and liner in tomorrow, rock in the pond, and maybe we'll get to building some of the stream. So we'll see what happens. We will see you guys right now. We are back. We have some unexpected nice weather actually this morning. We were expecting it to be really warm and humid and sunny again, but instead it is overcast, breezy, and quite pleasant to work today. So we're gonna get to this. Got rock being delivered right now. We're doing a little bit of fine tuning, checking all the shelves, making sure everything is just the way we want it. And then we're gonna go ahead and put in our underlayment, liner, and start rocking in this pond. For those that don't know, this is our underlayment, and why we use this is it creates a little bit of extra protection for the liner to just prevent from any punctures or scraping, poking, things like that, any little roots or rocks that might be sticking through from the dirt. And then we are actually going to use another layer on top of this underlayment going over our liner just to protect on the other side from any of the bigger rocks that we will be placing, just to keep any sharp edges or little pokey things from creating any problems down the road. All right, it is lunchtime and we are rocking this pond in, making some good headway here. We've got the fish cave going in the back corner there, and we will get the rest of this thing finished up rocking after lunch, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of work on the stream, so we'll see how things go. But things are kind of cruising along here. So we are wrapping up here for day 2, and we made some pretty good progress. We have the majority of the pond rocked in, and we also have our streamliner tucked in behind our final waterfall dropping into the pond from the stream, and we're kind of determining our heights for the bridge and where the walkway is going to go and getting that all figured out and set in stone here. But we should be pretty well through the stream tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have the rest of these outcropping rocks all set, dirt all in, and getting pretty close to getting the stream wrapped up. So see where we get to. We will see you guys right now. So we got rained out yesterday, if you can't tell from things being a little muddier and the pond being full of water. But yeah, it just pretty much poured most of the day yesterday, so we did not get anything done here, and we are now kind of a little bit behind our schedule, but we'll see what we can make happen today. We also had a meeting this morning, so we are extra behind to start today, but we're gonna get to this thing here. We're gonna get rocking and rolling. We need to finish up a few rocks in the pond. We have some dirt to do, some outcropping pieces, and then we'll get up into the waterfall, and hopefully we will get our bridge set today. I have it all in the trailer. We just need to get it unloaded, and hopefully we can get to that point. So we'll see how things go. So I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that is the reason we're putting this fish cave in. He got a fish in his mouth right now. Look at that. Fishy in his mouth for dinner. So I just want to explain this a little bit with the rock work here. This is an 11 by 16 pond, a little more than just your starter feature here. And I just want to kind of show, with a lot of these rocks, even though we're using larger rocks, we are turning them up on their sides. Still using the grain in the right way, but kicking them up on their sides just allows us to have a little more space in the actual pond. Oftentimes what happens is you get these really big rocks that stick out, and they look really nice and everything, but they take up so much room in the lower part of your pond that by the time you put their fish in there, there's really not a whole lot of room for them to move around. So just wanted to make sure that you give yourself ample space. Did not want to have a really formal look to anything going on here, so we're just trying to incorporate as many things that you would find out in nature, and we thought this piece worked out pretty good right here. It is resting on some supports on either side and has the liner wrapping completely around it on both sides. That way we can make sure that you're not going to have any issues with leaking, even if the bridge does settle a little bit down the road. All right, so we are wrapping things up here for today. We just got the bridge in. Most of our stream is done up into that point. Tomorrow we have to seam a little piece of liner onto the end of our streamliner there to get it to hook up to our biofalls, and then we can finish building the stream, finish doing all of our outcropping rocks, finish up all the lights, hooking everything up, getting our dosing system hooked up. We're gonna be done with this thing tomorrow. We're gonna get the mulch done. This thing is gonna look spectacular. It's gonna be all cleaned up. The lights are gonna be going, and Becky is gonna be sitting out here enjoying a glass of wine tomorrow evening by her wonderful new water feature. So we are back. It is day 4. We are gonna get this thing all wrapped up, rolling, and everything all completely finished. We're gonna make this thing look awesome. We're gonna get the stream all finished up. We're gonna get edges all tucked, plants put back in place, all kinds of good stuff, and making this thing look beautiful. And Becky will be enjoying a glass of wine by this thing later on this evening. All right, we are all finished up for today, and we are 99.9% finished with this whole water feature. So I have a little bit of mulch, like a couple barrels worth, to bring back tomorrow when I fuel up the excavator before that thing goes back. And then we are gonna wait until Sutton's have a chance to do the hardscape over here before we do the rest of our outcropping rocks and the mulch through this area, just because we didn't want to block them out from the only access point that they had to work on the patio here. So I will see you right now. So I am back here. It's Saturday. It's really windy, kind of hot out, so I just want to get to finishing these little things up here, getting the mulch all touched up, and then just get some nice final shots and pictures. And then I'll actually be back in about a week or so after the hardscapes are all in, and we'll be back to check everything out once it all looks complete and tied up and put back together the way that it should be. All right, that is it. Patio's in, everything's all wrapped up and cleaned up. All the edges came together really nice, like the way that patio met up against all the natural stone, and even the bridge came together pretty awesome, to where it just really adds that extra effect and extra dimension, having the seating space over here with the fire pit and the chairs by the waterfall right off the front door. Really ties this whole area in. Patio looks awesome, pond looks awesome, everything's coming in. Can't wait to see this thing when it's actually planted next year. If you guys like what we're doing here, remember to subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment down below, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next one.